What's good? It's artist songwriter Monday here, and I'm here with my girl Alexandria Jade on Having It Made.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
I don't
9.
need your respect, cause I got it, got it, made. I got it made, 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 got it made, I got it made, I got it made,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
I got
8,
it
9.
made, I got it 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 made.
My guest is no stranger to being different. With his unique infections and potent deliveries, Mondaii is here to show you just what small town boys are made of. Listen, discovered by renowned R&B superstar K. Michelle, it's truly a Cinderella story how this small town country boy went from serving tables to serving hits. I am so glad to have the one and only Mondaii on Having It Made.
Thank you, Alexandria, for having me.
You know, right here we have Having Made Monday, so this is an honor.
Look, it's an honor to be here. I like, just sharing my story and having other talks with other creatives about their process and all kind of cool things. I feel like we can all learn a lot from each other.
Absolutely. So tell me what we got on because you showing out with the fit.
Look, I was being chill. I mean, I'm from the country, so I like, country boy stuff. So camo, I feel like you can never go wrong with it in my eyes.
And let's get into the necklace. What the necklace say?
It's not that. It's actually like it's a abbreviation for this is the sound.
It looks like
which is a publishing company that
it looks like a vinyl when you look at it.
It is.
Oh,
It
that's
looks like a record because this is the sounds.
That's fire. And this hair. You gotta get into this hair. You know it's Monday when you see this hair.
Hair care is expensive. You're right, in general.
But it's okay because your hair is looking flawless, darling.
Thank you. You know
No, you do it.
fruits and berries, juices and berries.
So, Mondaii, you are originally from Thomaston, GA. Can you tell me where that is?
So Thomaston, Georgia is like a small little town, probably a hour and 30 minutes south of Atlanta. It's like south of Griffin, Georgia, and it's pretty small.
And growing up in Thomaston, can you tell me about some of the experience that you faced?
Honestly, growing up in Thomaston, I spent my whole life just anxious to leave. People really don't have aspirations to have careers in the entertainment industry because I'm not sure if they think that you can. So a lot of times growing up, I just, me wanting to pursue a career in music just seemed so far-fetched. Everybody wanted to do, more traditional jobs like maybe be a lawyer, a doctor, a police, a firefighter, but no one thinks that you can probably actually attain, careers in the entertainment industry because it's not so often done from people in my town.
So you don't feel like you had anybody around you that wanted to step outside the box growing up?
Oh, no. And actually, I think that with me being such a creative, I never felt like I truly found my tribe there. I always felt like, the black sheep there because I was always so next level with my thinking. And sometimes, it just made me feel out of place. So have you ever tried to, dim your light? I feel like I always dim my light when I was back home because I just felt like misunderstood.
So what did your parents think of you wanting to pursue music, like even as a young child?
They liked the fact that I did music and they thought that I was good at it. However, they're from like a different time period and I get it. I get it. So they were focused on more job security. So, me actually wanting to pursue music, they always had the perspective of do it on the side. You need to get a job you need to go to college. You need to get a job in your field. So, you can work hard and plan for retirement. Traditional parent combo.
Right.
you
need a backup plan. We don't know if plan A gonna work out for you.
You get what I'm saying? And for me, I never had a plan B. Like it was for me, it was always gun hold on music, which kind of like made me sad a little bit when I actually got into the music industry, just because I never had a backup plan. So like even when things get hard in music for me, like I literally have to keep pushing and persevering.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so I read an article on you in Voyage ATL. Shout out to Voyage.
Shout out to Voyage.
I heard you used to get into rap battles.
Oh yeah.
When you were in school. Is this true?
Yeah, I'm really competitive.
What?
So, and I think rap is a sport. Like, everybody wants to be the best, just like sports, you have teams, what they do, help you win. So if you have a good team, if you and your team work well together, then you win.
How old were you when you were out here doing rap battles? Was this elementary school?
No, it was probably like middle school. Like, at middle school, I feel like everybody want to be cool and everybody trying to find a tribe. And for me, I feel like I could never fit in. Like, I really could never fit in. Like, all the kids in my school, if you was cool if you could play like basketball or, football. I was terrible at both of those. And I was just like, dang, what can I do? And then, like in the morning time, these kids just rap. Now I remember like just being like, oh, I could do this. I mean, I like to write poems already. So I was like, okay, let me join the rap battle. At first, I was like so corny, and I just kept coming back and I'm like, all right, let me work on my bars because people are not about to clown me. So I just kept working at it, and I started getting better. And people was like, oh, like you're really good. And then, just working on your craft, putting in your 10,000 hours, and I just continued to like sharpen my bars, read a lot so I can have more subject matters to talk about. Yeah.
Who would you say were some of the artists that you studied?
Artists that I studied, well, I think I studied artists that I grew up listening to. Like, I think this person doesn't give enough praise, but I was a big TLC fan growing up. So like, Left Eye, yeah, I like people with unique voices because I know I had a unique voice and I wasn't always confident in my voice. Like people used to always try to imitate me, mock me, pinch their nose and try to sound like me. You know what I mean? The high pitch. It was just like, so that kind of made me like insecure about my voice in a sense. But, yeah, it made me really find a liking to people with unique voices and unique sounds because I'm like, hey, maybe I could do this. And their voice sounds like this and they pull it off. So Left Eye, Q-Tip, Magoo, like those are the people. Busta Rhymes, like everybody that was Missy Elliott. So those are the people I grew up listening to, and I was like, okay, I want to create a visual every time I rap. So I want to storytell, and I want to make it animated.
Yeah, but believe it or not, I feel like that's what makes you authentic. Because like with the voice standing out, people can remember who you are.
Yeah.
So I think that's fly.
Thank you.
Okay, so where did you attend college?
I went to Clark Atlanta University.
Okay, CAU. So you were
shout
here.
out to the AUC.
So you left Thomaston and came here to Atlanta.
Yes, I couldn't leave fast enough, to be honest.
It was like, I got to go.
Got deuces.
Y'all are not going to see me for a couple years.
No, seriously, because I know, like, I could have never made my dreams happen for myself, especially the way they've happened now, and God has blessed me by, just staying in the same spot. You know what I mean? Sometimes I was just listening to a sermon today, and it was just talking about, like, in order for you to get your blessing, you have to be in the right position. You know what I mean? So I feel like I would have never received my blessing being in a town so small where everybody's construct of thinking is so limited.
Absolutely.
They'll be trying to, deter me from my big vision.
Right. So tell me about your career process, like in college, because you were attending open mics, poetry slams. Yeah. What was that like for you?
I was just so hungry at the time. Like,
I know that's right.
I was going.
My man said hungry.
Look, no, seriously, because I was from a small town, and I already came here with the mindset. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna leave this small town, and because my whole life like, and even partially the reason I got my name Monday is because people overlook me all the time. But whether if you overlook me or not, or you don't see the value in me, I'm gonna keep showing up like a Monday.
Absolutely.
So majority of my life, I never felt seen. So I already came in with the mindset, no, I'm gonna come to Atlanta and somebody gonna see me. I'm gonna make somebody pay attention to me as an artist. So I came here. I was like, I don't care who I gotta rap for. I was like, I'm gonna just rap. So I went to open mics. I got I went to different like showcases. Got scammed a couple times. You know how it is in Atlanta. Everybody be, trying to charge an arm and a leg for everything and be like, hey, you can perform here for so and so and so and so. Oh yeah, but you're gonna have to pay us $100 or you're gonna have to pay us $600.
But it's okay because you don't know no better. You grew up in Thomaston.
And then here I am paying money, and look, I'll be livid afterwards for real. You know what? Nothing makes me mad. Very few things make me mad. But if you mess with my music, oh, yeah, I'd be 38.
So here it is. You're at CAU. You're doing open mics, poetry slams. What was the moment in your career in college where you were like, okay, it forced you to be bold and like you were hungry? So like, what was the pivotal moment for you where you like, okay, it's time to get it?
The pivotal moment. I think the pivotal moment is just when I started releasing music, because for so long I'm a perfectionist.
Yep.
So sometimes I feel like I talk about things so long before I actually do them, and when I actually jumped into it, because I knew I could rap, I knew I could write really good songs, but by me just saying that, nobody else knows.
Right.
So I think putting myself out there and getting some good reactions, even getting some bad reactions, it was like a moment that just made me want to continue to grind harder and put stuff on social media so different artists can see me and say, hey, I wanna work with you, or I want you to write my song.
So after you left CAU, you actually did sign to an independent label, correct?
I did. It was the worst time of my life.
Can you tell me about that journey and what you learned from it?
Yeah, so when I graduated, I was just like, okay, I graduated. Now what do I do? Like, I was trying to look for jobs in my field. I couldn't really find nothing. I was a mass media arts major, by the way.
Come on, mass media.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that was my undergrad.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't find anything, so I just remember going to New York one summer with one of my friends, and I think she had a meeting with some guy who owned the label, and the label they had like a partnership with the Orchard.
Okay.
And the Orchard is like the distribution side with Sony.
Right.
So I remember going, to this guy's place and playing some music, and he was just like, no, you're really, 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 really dope. I mean, because I've been going to the studios and sessions since like middle school, going to having professional sessions and stuff. So I always like, pay for my own recordings and all that. So yeah, I played him some music. They was like, hey, we want to present you with this deal and sign. I'm over here, I don't really have no industry experience like that. So I'm just like, oh yeah, like this is somebody seeing me for the first time. You know what I mean? Because I never felt like I was seen before. So I read the contract good enough to, to the best of my ability.
Right.
And I sign. I get all these promises about like different marketing campaigns that we're gonna do for me and have a big release and all this. And they were based out of New York. So I moved to be closer to them. I ended up moving to Boston, also to do some other things. But, one of them being to be closer to my independent boutique label. So I get there, I'm like, okay, well, I'm closer now. We can really work.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like, we can do it.
Let's
We're
go.
in New York.
Let's go. Cause why we not working? I don't understand.
Yeah.
So literally, we would have these meetings every like other month or so. We never talked about marketing. even when like they would say, "Hey, we gotta go to New York." I would get to New York. There's no marketing meeting. I'll be going to a bunch of parties, being fake, like you know what I mean, speaking to different like reps and stuff at Sony, and people will be like, "Hey, we hear you about to do some good stuff. We hear you about to come out with this and yada 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 and yada 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 and what?" And I'm over here like, yeah, yeah, like because in my head I'm thinking, oh well, I'm glad you know. Maybe you know something I don't, because nobody had told me nothing.
Exactly.
So yeah, I moved to Boston to be close to the label. We never put out anything, but of course, you know, during that time period, they were on a lot of my stuff, and you know, they wanted certain records from me and wanted me to turn in certain things. So I had to end up getting an attorney to try my best to get out of that contract that I was stuck in for a year. And it was gonna be longer than that, but I got my attorney to get me out of that deal on breach terms, because we were supposed to put out a record within a year span, but we didn't, so I was able to get out. But you know, when I knew I wanted to get out and I couldn't get out and I was just playing the waiting game, taught me a valuable lesson.
I appreciate you for sharing that, because you won't believe like how many people are actually dealing with that in the industry.
Yeah.
So you left Boston. What brought you back to Atlanta?
I just dealt with a lot of craziness in Boston. Like, my whole life changed. I moved to Boston to go take care of my aunt, who was in the nursing home at the time. She was really sick, and I went to move with her. And she had a lot of stuff going on, you know. I don't really care to get into a lot of what she had going on. But basically, if you ever watch Hey Arnold, I kid you not. I can laugh about this now, but look. If you ever seen Hey Arnold, that's how my life was in Boston. And you know Arnold's living situation, right?
I can't really remember.
It was a bunch of people that lived in that house. So that's how I lived. Because, you know, I'm used to being in the country, big backyard, a lot of land to look at. I moved to Boston. All the houses are built upwards. It's multiple family houses. So we lived on the bottom floor, and it was a man who had Alzheimer's that lived on the top floor. But him and my aunt were friends or whatever. Then multiple people would come in the house. I lived in the hood in Boston. I lived in Roxbury.
Okay.
So multiple people would, I remember, come in and out of our house, and I'm just like, you know, I just keep my things on me because I don't want nobody to jack my stuff.
Exactly.
And then my aunt wasn't living the best lifestyle, so it was just like different people, like different people would come in and out. And yeah, it was an interesting time period. And then one time I came home, and my whole house had burned down. Yeah, my whole house had burnt down, and I was like, all my stuff, all my clothes, and I was homeless for a little while in Boston. And I remember, the Red Cross, would put us in the hotel for a couple days, and then we would just be bouncing around from different friends' houses. I remember different coworkers. I would just be, ask people, hey, can I spend the night with you tonight? Then try to find another place another night, spend somebody else, and it was just hard to live like that. Also, I was in my master's program at the time,
right,
at Full Sail, so I was like, and I was trying to help my aunt out, but she was down to go to a shelter. My aunt's like she's an interesting person who doesn't really think about like priorities. So, she was down to go to a shelter, but I didn't want that lifestyle for myself, especially when I know I didn't have to live like that.
Absolutely.
So I was like, all right, back to Atlanta I go. Because let's start it over again, Atlanta. And the only reason I wanted to leave Atlanta because I felt like nobody ever took me seriously here, and all I did was get scammed. So, after leaving Boston, I was like, well, damn, I'm getting scammed up here too. So I was like, I might as well go to Atlanta and try it over again. And next time I tried it in Atlanta, I started writing for K. Michelle.
Okay, so you end up getting a serving job at Puff and
yeah.
Tell me about this overall story, because at the time you were still posting, like putting your content, on Instagram. So she saw your stuff actually. And what was that like?
So I started working at Puff and Pedal because I really needed a job. I had graduated college. I was like trying to find a job in my field, but also not trying to do something that took up too much of my time where I couldn't allocate my focus to music because it was always tunnel vision music for me. So I was like, oh, people make a lot of money being in Atlanta. I feel like people make a lot of money either being three things, maybe four.
Tell it to the camera.
You're either gonna be a server, a bartender,
bartender,
a bottle girl,
bottle girl. That's 3.
or a stripper.
A stripper.
You get what I'm saying? Or a promoter. Like, these are ways to make quick money in Atlanta, I feel like. So I'm like, okay, let's be a server. So I started serving at this restaurant called Puff and Pedal. And when I was serving there, I would never, tell K. Michelle, my boss, that I did music because, with K. Michelle's reputation, I'm like, she gonna cuss me out. She gonna cuss me out and I'm gonna get fired.
Thought you were hard.
Well, yeah, but like I didn't go to her.
Absolutely.
I didn't go selling myself to her. First, I was like, I was kind of like, I was afraid to. So, Killer Mike had a barbershop next door to K. Michelle's restaurant. And after work, I remember going out with my coworkers. Sometimes we'll go grab a drink. When you're getting to know your coworkers, you just chit-chatting it up. And I'm like, y'all, I be doing music outside of here. And they like, no, you don't. No, you don't. And I was like, no, I really rap. And they was like, okay, spit something right now. And I was like, I did. I did. And they was like, what? You really rap? So, one thing led to another. I think certain people maybe start telling K. Michelle that I did music or rap. And she stumbled up on my Instagram. But I remember I was working at my other job at the time, which was Uber. And I started getting all these notifications from K. Michelle. And I was like, what's going on? I remember subscribing to K. Michelle, turning on my post notifications. And I got like. And then I received a message. And I was like, all right, let me pull over and see what this is about. And it was like, hey, I did not know you was this talented. I want to work with you on my album. And I was like, what? So I was so in disbelief. And I was like, this better not be nobody playing with me. Because one thing I do not play about is my music. So, I'm like, wait, is this really K. Michelle? And, she later on, like, got my number and, text me. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. So I was working on like her mixtape stuff back in the day, like in 2017. And she would fly me out to Burbank, California. I would work with her out there. And then later on, I would, go to Tennessee and work on her album.
That is amazing. Like, after everything you went through in Boston, like, you deserve that.
Oh, yeah.
You're out here, Mondaii. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. So, you have written for artists as well. Saucy Santana and Lotto. What's that like?
Well, I wrote Lotto's verse on Up and Down.
Okay.
With her and Saucy Santana.
So, like, you like working with other artists and songwriting behind the scenes?
I do like working with other artists. Now, yeah, I do like working with other artists. Like, I think everybody has like a different process.
Yes.
So it's good to see. It's interesting to see what different people's processes, and I just do what I can.
Absolutely.
If they need my help, then I help. If they don't, I just back up and give help when wanted.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about this album, Dial Tone.
Yes.
What is the story behind Dial Tone, and what was the overall inspiration?
For Dial Tone, it was like I created it during like a younger period of my life. Like, I think I was in my early 20s. I was getting, I'm out of school. I'm away from my parents. I'm kind of like finding myself, and I'm trying new things. So, trying new things, experiencing new people, and learning a lot about myself and what my love language is, and boundaries that I should set or should have created for myself. But different experiences taught me that. So just going through certain situationships with people and realizing that our feelings may not be mutual. I just wrote about all my feelings at the time. Yeah.
And so you also, shout out to Sean Rose, you guys have a collaborative album or EP?
It was an EP. Yes, that was really fun.
Yeah, I remember she was talking about it.
Yeah. So that came, I think we released that around like the pandemic. Yeah.
So this is like all around the same time?
Yeah. We released that just because, she was doing her music, I was doing my music, and we was just like, we felt like at a certain spot where we was feeling, I guess, like a little stagnant.
Yeah.
So we was like, hey, let's create something new. Let's join forces and make a new sound, because she did mostly R&B at the time.
Yeah.
And I was doing mostly hip hop and rap at the time. But I love alternative music, and I knew I could write it as a songwriter. I just I had to try to find my voice in it as an artist. So we came together, put our brains together, and made something really dope.
And you are queer as well.
Yes.
What do you feel like you want to show artists in the industry that, the LGBTQ community, what we can do here in Atlanta for rap and R&B?
I think that we can do a lot. I think that our perspective should open up as far as diversifying our sound and our also maximizing on our talents, because I feel like due to the industry's depiction of what we look like as queer rappers, it kind of influences other people's opinion. A lot of people like to look at the LGBT community. They equate the rainbow as being the part of the LGBTQ community, but only tend to look at us in one color of that spectrum.
Right.
So I think that we just have to keep showing up and just being 100% authentically ourselves. You know what I mean? Because not all LGBTQ or queer rappers sound like a Salty Santana.
Yeah.
Some of us, may look like a Steve Lacy, or some of us may look like a Frank Ocean, or we may have a LGBTQ queer Kendrick Lamar type of rapper. Some of us are very lyrical out here.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, you out here though, for sure. So I want to touch on this Black Music Action Coalition. You received a $5,000 grant from Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. First and foremost, those are some legends.
Yeah, they are. They're amazing.
What was it like? Because they toured you as well.
Yeah, they do.
What was that? What is that like?
It's amazing. It's a dream come true. I feel like I've had some moments that definitely have been surreal, and it's definitely like it's an exemplification of God's blessings, because I can't even explain it. The only thing I can say is God did it, because like I during the time I got the grant, I didn't even live by myself. I think I had to move back home with my parents. Like I feel like I've always had to continue pressing the reset button, resetting and starting over. And I think, coincidentally, once again, I was living with my parents, and it was a grant going on, and I usually don't even apply for things like this, because I'm like, what are the chances? It's so many people that's gonna go out for it,
Right.
And something told me to just do it. So I did it. You had to write them a paragraph of, who you are as an artist, what music looks like for you, and what do you plan to do with the grant. So, I told them who I was as the artist, and, how I strive to, defy barriers of, constraints within hip hop, and, make it more plausible for everybody. So I told them about what my movement and my beliefs are, and they listened to the music, of course, and they saw something in me. So yeah, they became my mentors.
I know that's right. We're talking legends, like working with Janet. Like,
Yeah,
that is incredible.
yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you.
I appreciate
I'm giving you your flowers here at Having Made Monday.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
out
you.
here. Okay, so this single, Higher. What is this song about?
I feel like we as Black people can't get our flowers enough. So I just wanted to make something to uplift our Black community. Uplift and give us our flowers. And I wanted to touch on certain topics. You know what I mean? For one, I wanted to bring awareness to police brutality and and showing our Black men love. You know what I mean? And like I say in one of my lines, it's a shame for Black mothers to bury their sons, and it is. Fact of the matter is, it's like sometimes as Black men, we know getting pulled over by the cops could be like the end of our lives. So I think that all makes us all like a little subconsciously nervous when we get pulled over by cops and police. I know I get really nervous for some reason that I can't even explain. I'm not even doing anything wrong. I just get nervous because I feel like that my life could change at any moment. And I just touch on a series of things and how as Black people we are amazing visionaries and creatives, and a lot of people bite off our style a lot, and we're overworked and undercredited, but we're amazing, and I want to give us our flowers.
I think my favorite line in the song, you said, just know depression make the biggest diamonds in the rough.
Yeah.
And like even hearing your story and just the things that you've been through, like it just reminds you like you're gonna be okay.
Thank you. And I appreciate hearing that. I feel like we all need to hear those things sometimes. Like it's gonna be okay. Just stay put. If you stay put, because like the sermon I was listening to said like, if you stay put, I mean you have to be in position for your blessing. So maybe if you move away, you may miss that faucet drip that was gonna land right on you. So yeah, I think we all need to hear that.
Okay, so you want to play a little game?
Let's play it. I love games.
So I looked at looked at your site, just some of your influence, the people you like to listen to. So I'm going to do a little bit of trivia for you.
Okay.
Okay, give me 3 songs produced by Timbaland.
3 songs produced by Timbaland. 1 in a Million by Aaliyah. Try Again by Aaliyah. I'm sorry. I say Aaliyah because I really love Aaliyah. Try Again by Aaliyah. And I said okay. Try Again by Aaliyah. 1 in a Million. And Promiscuous by Nelly Furtado.
I knew you was going to I was just listening to that album.
I had to name Nelly Furtado. I was going to name Genuine next.
Yeah, okay. What is your favorite bar from an Eminem song?
My favorite bar for Eminem song. Nowadays, everybody want to talk like they got something to say, but nothing come out when they move their lips. It's just a bunch of gibberish. Motherfucker thinking that they forgot about Dre.
Okay. Are you a fan of Prince?
Love Prince.
In what ways do you feel like Prince influences your sound?
So I don't think that I sound like Prince. Some people tell me and sometimes that, when I sing certain things that it reminds them of Prince. But I think what reminds people what reminds me of Prince in myself, the androgyny in my voice, because Prince had a very androgynous voice. where you couldn't really tell if it was like, a man or a woman, nor did she really care, or you just heard it and you heard really good music.
Absolutely.
And I think sometimes a lot of people are shocked when they hear the music first, hear some of my music first, and then they see me, and it's like, oh, this is a guy rapping this, because I have such a distinct voice, and it's like, I don't have the deepest voice, let's be honest.
Right.
My voice can be very androgynous. Like, some people may think it's a female rapper, or some people may think it's like somebody with an interesting voice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Monday, because I love to give my wonderful guests / artists gifts here at Having It Made, the entire team, because we love everybody that comes through here.
Yes.
We did get you something.
I love gifts.
You love gifts? That's your
I
love
love 'em.
language?
I love them.
Ooh, that's you love gifts. Okay, so this is exclusive. Yesterday was Record Store Day, by the way.
Record store day?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So this is for you.
Thank you. Oh my goodness.
Can you hold it up to the camera so they can see it?
They got it right.
Did we get it right?
You definitely did. I love this.
Absolutely.
I might have to recreate this look, Loki.
Well, if you do, make sure you tag us in it so we can share it.
Definitely. I was gonna say, what was that? My first thought. Oh wow. Thank you.
Absolutely. Monday, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Do
you have any last words for people wanting to excel and just make it in the industry as a songwriter, artist, etc.?
I would say, keep showing up. It's when it gets hard, and it will at some point. Just keep showing up. Things got hard for me not too long ago. I was doing music. I felt like, I kept showing up, and things weren't happening for me. Things didn't happen the way that I thought they would have happened in my head, as far as like a payout. When you songwrite and you work on people's albums, like I wrote 10 songs on K. Michelle's album. I haven't gotten paid yet because songwriters typically get money on the back end.
Right.
Yeah, so that will be like a 9-month period from when the song comes out to when you receive your money. So it's kind of like, to work on somebody's album and do a lot of things in the music industry, and you feel like your life is not changing, can be a little depressing. And then my mom was diagnosed with thyroid cancer.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you good? She's good now.
Okay.
So it was just a lot on my mental, like 2 months ago, and I was really depressed with music, and I really didn't want to be bothered with it.
Yeah.
But fast forward, she had surgery. She had the thyroid removed, and during that time, I kind of like stepped away from songwriting. But I realized, even when we go through like hard times, things go on. The industry continues to maneuver.
Absolutely.
So I would say, just stay diligent and keep showing up.
Absolutely. And where can our viewers and listeners find you?
You can find me on all socials at Mondaii Music. That Mondaii is Mondaii and Mondaii Music.
Mondaii, I love you.
Yes, I love you guys, and thanks for having me again.
Absolutely.
This is amazing. Like, I love the setup. I love you, obviously, and you're so sweet, and you've been so welcoming to me. So, thank you guys for having me, and I look forward to coming back when I release some new music.
Well, beautiful people, thank you for tuning in to this episode of Having It Made. I am your host, Alexandria Jade. I'd like to thank Mondaii again for joining us. We Having It Made Mondays in here. You guys be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for next episode. Make sure you turn on those alerts. And we will see you guys next episode.
Coming to the stage. Ladies, if you had a drink, go ahead and get you another one, fellas. Don't you be ashamed to dance.
This gon' get their attention, yeah. This is what they been missing, yeah. Shut the fuck up and just be grateful I gave you hoes something different. All these niggas seem like my children. Copy my style, who was the kitten? There is only one place I can't go, and that's back and forth with you bitches. And that's back and forth with you bitches. And that's back and forth with you bitches. There is only one place I can't go, and that's back and forth with you bitches. And that's back and forth with you bitches.